And he's been tough from the get-go. I remember really the first game he played in the opener against Cincinnati, but then started against Oklahoma and got bounced around. And I just remember seeing his mom after the game and saying, "You have a tough son right there." And it's an underrated quality for a quarterback to be a tough guy, to stand in there and play. And I think that was on display tonight. Something that we've known, for 4 years now, but I think he really showed that tonight. And I was really proud of how he played.
Was he hurt twice? Was he hurt the first half? It came to.
I don't know that. He didn't miss any time in the first half, so they just tell me when he's out, and he got taken out there for a little bit, and then they told me he could go back in. So he's a competitor. He loves to play, and I think that was on display today.
How does that process work? He goes out and then he comes right back in after one play.
The trainers and the medical team look at him and they tell us if he's cleared. When he's out, they just tell me he's out, and then they tell me if he's cleared to come back in. So.
Did you talk to him after the medical team cleared him?
Did I talk to him? No.
Yeah.
I think he just went right into play. So.
Is he getting tests right now, or
is he what?
Getting like an X-ray or something?
I don't know where he is right now.
Okay.
Beyond the toughness, what makes him so good in the second half, so productive in the second half as the game goes on?
Yeah, we don't have a ton of data points from this season. It's still early in the year. Didn't play in the second half very really against Hawaii. You know what I mean? So you can't really use that. But he's a competitor. And he competes, and the longer he plays, the more he learns, and that's what we talk about. We prepare each week, we compete each week, and we learn. And he can digest information during the game of what's happened, so that if we get back to this again, we want to do this. So we knew what we were doing. They had big personnel on the field, and we knew we wanted to try to get Kyle down the seam. They had a big outside linebacker on him, and it's bang bang. He made the play, but it's exactly what we talked about on the sideline before that. We're going to get an open set and try to see if we can get a seed ball here, and he handles it. So really impressive performance by him today.
You had an effective passing game midway through the second quarter, throwing to the running backs out of the backfield, Charbonnet in particular. Were you seeing something in particular that opened that up?
Yeah, they tried to mail up our outside guys, so just trying to get the matchup with the running backs and the linebackers. That was something we felt like we could exploit there a little bit. They were backing the box a little bit, so let's loosen them up and get the ball. How can we get the ball to Zach and get it to him on the perimeter? And I thought both him and Britton, I thought Britton was going to break that one, but he slipped. But I thought both him and Britton gave us something there in pass game.
You also got a lot of production out of Greg Dulcich.
Yeah.
Right? A lot more than you had in the past couple of games. What was there for him? Sorry, for the last game and then the games before that.
Okay.
So, what was there for him?
Game, so. Again, it's the same thing. If you're going to play man coverage, we have to go to our best matchups, and we really felt like the tight end and Kyle and then Zach a little bit were some of the matchups, and Dorian understands that when they play man coverage. We want to find out what our matchups are, and then how do we exploit those matchups.
Yeah, they came back to tie in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think having a game like what happened last week, where they came back, you went ahead, they went ahead again, did that prepare you guys for the mental aspect of kind of fighting back in a tie game like this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can look to that. I think we prepare, we compete, we learn. So we talked about what happened in the Fresno game, after the Fresno game. That's part of what we do on our Mondays, where we sit down, watch film. What's the reason for what went on, whether it's a W or whether it's an L. And how can we correct our mistakes, and how do we build on what we did well. And I thought those guys did a great job. They were eager on Monday in our training session, and that followed through the whole week. So I thought they would respond well, and obviously they did. Make it to be up 21-7 and then to be down. Tied 21-21 and then to come back is a credit to those guys. To score twice after they tied it up was a real big deal for us.
Did you feel maybe in the first half, your defense, I think 5 3-and-outs. Mm-hmm. Did you think that you might not have taken advantage of enough opportunity offensively, get enough points on the board when your defense was shutting down?
We said let's keep this close. So we told them let's just let's not make this one. We don't want to go crazy and try to score too much in the first half. So let's. But I think I'm joking. But the mistakes we made in the first half were us. We had a couple bad snaps that we have to correct. We had a holding penalty we got to correct, and all of a sudden now we're 1st and 20 when we're moving the ball. But I really felt in the first half that the stops that occurred on those drives were self-inflicted. It was us making mistakes, not something that there wasn't a great play by a defensive player. And sometimes you got to tip your cap to it. But we got to get the snap problem straightened out. We had too many earned snaps today. I think there were 3 that I counted that put us off schedule. And when you're playing a good team like Stanford, you can't be off schedule. that's a really well-coached team. They were undermanned today because they had some kids out with the COVID restrictions. So, I tip my cap to David and his coaching staff for the job, for the performance they put into it, because they didn't have all their weapons today. And I've been where he's been. That's a tough deal. No one feels sorry for you. But I do think they did a hell of a job coaching against us.
Did it occur to you in your play calling when Stanford hit that long, quick touchdown pass for 85 yards, whatever it was, that you were going to turn around and do that yourself to show them that?
No, we're not trying to show anybody. We're just trying to exploit what the defense is in, and they got a lot bigger and brought in 2 outside linebackers. They weren't nickel defense against us, and even though we were in a spread formation, and so if they are going to do that, then they're trying to stop our run game. So we tried to spread them out a little bit and throw it, and we got the look that we wanted, and it was favorable. And give Kyle credit for running a great route in finishing. Sometimes guys catch that, but it's just a big game. To finish in the end zone like he did was a big deal for him, and the ball during him, because he hit him in stride. So if he hits him in stride, we get a chance to finish. So credit to those 2 guys. Good job in the protection for those guys up front. But credit to Kyle and Dorian for making that play. So I was very pleased that we answered in one play. I don't like it to take longer than that, but.
Talk a little bit about Kyle's performance. I mean, the touchdown, the punt return, the TD catch.
To start, to set the tone to start the game. You always want to get out to a good start, and for him to set us up where we were, and get the ball that tight in the red zone. After that return, we felt like we had an opportunity in the return game with him. I thought our guys did a real good job all week long with the plan that Coach Sage and the special teams guys had of really getting a good hold-up return in there. And Kyle, again, anywhere we can get the ball in his hands, it's positive. And it's tough because the return game in college football, it's really non-existent. With people in these spread punts and then they kick the ball out of the back of the end zone, and you don't get an opportunity that much. But I think our guys took pride in really doing a good job in the hold-up aspect of it, because they know if they give Kyle time to catch it and set his feet, and we got a shot. And I think the punter just kind of mishit it a little bit. Most of the other punts he hit, because he's a great directional punter, would pin us on the sideline. We didn't have an opportunity for a return, but that one, they tried to kick it back across the field, and we took advantage of it. So, give those guys, the whole group on that punt return team for doing a good job. So.
Talking about your run defense, this is 4 teams in a row now where you basically shut down the running game. What are you seeing out of your run defense?
Well, I think they're aggressive. I think we have some tough kids on that side of the ball that are, they do a really good job of not staying blocked. When they can get off the blocks and try to make some plays. When you have a quarterback that's not a huge run threat, and we've been fortunate because we haven't had a quarterback. Now, give David credit, on a key third down, he had to keep it, and I think everybody in the stadium was on the running back and McKee's running down the sideline, but for the most part, we had the ability to kind of contain Pete and keep him in front of us, and I thought our guys did a good job. We'll look at the tape, but I thought our guys did a good job by and large tackling. But it's a lot easier to tackle and get guys down when you're a gang tackle, and I thought we had a lot of guys running to the football team.
When you came in, you said college football should be played in the afternoons. Does that affect your preparation, or is it kind of a tradition?
That's just me personally, but I don't share that with our guys.
Okay.
Our guys don't care. We'll play in the parking lot. We'll play at 2 in the morning. It really doesn't bother us. But if I had my brothers, you wake up Saturday morning, you get a little breakfast, and you play football. That's the tradition of college football. That's what you always. It was, it's a beautiful stadium. It's a great place to play. The sun was setting over their sideline. Those are the cool things that you reflect on. It's just my own personal deal. I don't like playing games at night because I got to sit around all day long. I wish we could play at 9 a.m. We get out, we train. That's where our practice are. That's when you guys are there for practice. That's our rhythm. That's our routine. But we don't worry about what we don't control. So if they tell us we got a night game, then we play a night game. So this group doesn't care. They'll play whenever. So I just bitch to you guys. I don't bitch to them. So.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.